What's up everyone, Josh here again, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'll be working out of Logic X, Logic 10, and using Kontakt within Logic. Using it as a means of multi-instruments if you're using different instruments within Kontakt without loading up separate contacts and different tracks. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let me first show you what I call the wrong way. So let's go ahead and open the session here, and I got the software instrument already selected, and let's go ahead and hit create. Bam. So I go and load in my instrument, and which would be Kontakt stereo track, and I load in my first patch here, keyboards. So got my keyboards. Let's see if we get any sound. So we got some sound in here, right? And let's say I've done tracking and I'm ready for my next instrument, right? So I'm going to load up something. And so what I did, I'll load up another instrument track. So here's another version of Kontakt. Bam. And bam, there's my extra string. So what I did, I instantiated two different Kontakt plugins on two different tracks, which is, you shouldn't do that. You should not do that. The reason why, a very straightforward explanation, is because you want to save processing power in your computer. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? So that's why you shouldn't do that. So let me show you the right way to do this. Let me just go ahead and close that out, open up a new session here. So it's asking me, do you want a software instrument? Yes, I do. But I want it to be multi-timbral, 8 parts. Now, by default, it selects 8 parts. So what will happen is it will create 8 tracks so I can use for my one instantiated version. Well, it will create 8 tracks for my Kontakt plugin that I will load in. So I want to make sure that is checked. That's very important. And also, I almost forgot, you also need to make sure within Kontakt itself that you label the outs to something that will make sense to you. You have to configure that. You have to make sure you configure that so that when you load it up in Logic or whatever you're using, that you're able to separate them and route each instrument to its own corresponding out. So I may even do another video on that. So anyway, I'll go ahead and hit create. And 8 different tracks loads up all together. So all I need to do is load Kontakt in one time, and that's it. Now it's asking me, do you want mono or stereo? I don't want any of those because remember, we're doing multi-outs. We're using multi-instruments, so they all need their separate out. So I'm going to pick 16 stereo. All right, so I'm going to load in my first instrument, which was that there. All right, so if you look here, by default, it's going to output 1. That's how I labeled it, but this is how it looks. So by default, it's going there. Output 1, 2, and of course, MIDI channel 1. So when I play, I got my roads there. Alright, so, and to eliminate the confusion, it's good to label your tracks, right? Always good to eliminate the confusion. So I got my first track loaded up here. So let me load up something else. Let me load up action strings. Now, that's already popped up here. So if you look closely here, the output of this is actually the same output of that, which I don't want. I want to set it to its own separate. So I'll go to the next following output. and it's already set to MIDI channel 2. So if I click the next track, that should be the strings. So let's go ahead and label that strings. All right. So let me go now to my mix view. Now, if I click this, it will create another track. Now this happens every time you create a multi-timbral instrument in Logic. So, and if I go there, see it's separate. Got my, got the keyboards there, got my strings there. Like I said, always good to label so that things will make sense to you. Now, I got different volume control on the different channels in Kontakt. So this is pretty much straightforward. That's how you do it. And if you need to create another track, oh, no, that's a multi. Let me create one more just to. So I got my bass. So once again, I'm going to make sure this is going to the correct output. I don't want this to go out of the same output as the Rhodes. So we used that one, so this is the next one, stereo 3. And this is my labeling, so you can label, as I stated earlier, there's a way to do this in Kontakt where you're able to label your outs, make sure that you have different outs. I may do a different video on that. So, all right, I got my bass up, and everything is set. So I'm gonna go here. All right, that side up. Bass. And call that bass. And then strings and Rhodes. And that's how you do it. So very simple. In fact, this is the same process, I believe, that you would do it for those who use Logic 9. All right, so thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, and stay tuned later for other tutorials that I will post up. If you have any questions, contact me. Thank you for watching.